I still whistle to the intro. Welcome back, everybody. Welcome. Yes, we're waving to you with some upgrades to our studio, so we're very excited about that. I am Joe Dove, waving the hand of welcome ship in the ghost world, and of course, this wouldn't be shedding light on Dis Dungeon on the 2BC network if it wasn't with B Money. What's up, buddy?
Go. Hey there. How you
doing?
doing?
Good, man. Good. I've got my my trusty Gowron with me from another podcast. I found Gowron has stood the test of time. I got Gowron originally in 1988 or 89.
Wow.
And it was one of my early toys. My mom bought me this and the Big Boss Man from wrestling.
Is that Playmates?
Yeah, Playmates.
Okay.
I'm pretty sure.
Yeah,
Playmates. Have come with me from 1987 all the way to now, 2000.
Damn.
Yeah, whatever we are in 2025. So this is almost a 40-year-old figure. So this guy's lasted the test of time.
Yeah.
And I picked up the kids from camp, and there's like a really famous called Pandora's Box, a toy store there, and they had the same Gowron, but like in packaged. But it was like $50. So I was like,
oh, wow.
I have Gowron at home. But you did a thing for me that people are going to see on the Captain's Quadrant. And I had a hard time filming it because I was so touched by what you did. And, you know, it means a lot. And I just want you to know how touching it was for me to get that. It's my favorite captain. And you guys can go check that out on the Captain's Quadrant page. But we're here to talk about ghosts, right?
We are.
And we're getting into the thick of it. This is the third episode, The Ghost of Christmas. All right. So we're talking about series 2 because it's not seasons in the UK. It's series.
Right. That's confusing sometimes.
Yeah, so true. So series 2, episode 3, The Ghost of Christmas. Let's have our first glance. All right, so this one, it's Christmas Eve, and the entire family is coming over to enjoy the imminent festivities. Everyone has the best intentions, but stress levels gradually rise, and there is seemingly only a matter of time until an epic blowout. So, of course, this is the Christmas episode, and this is where Mike's family comes in, and you get to meet the rest of his mom, his dad, his sister, his niece, and everyone. Of course, the big thing to me, so my family, my father's side, my grandfather's side, we're from Barbados, and Errol is one of the biggest names in Barbados. That's like,
wow, like
John. Yeah, there was the first big prime minister of Barbados was Errol Burr, and Errol is like a super common name. So none of my family's named Errol. So disclaimer. But when I heard the name Errol, I was like, oh, that's cool. And you know, the reason why I know this is because because of my heritage, I ended up doing a website and videography for the Democratic Labor Party of Barbados years ago. And I did a whole film, and this guy came to like try to one up me, and he brought this whole big set, and he had this big system and this big camera, but I noticed it was old. And then I had this little camera with this one little light. And then they were like, if you were to tell me one of you was a videographer and I had to pay for the video service, and I looked at these two cameras, which one do you think I would pay for? And I said, well, his may look impressive, but mine will be impressive at the end. And sure enough, mine looked so good.
Nice.
Because it was like a really good Sony AX, one of the big top ones. That was the equivocal to his, but his was older. So it had that like grainy, what's called light noise.
All right.
So as the sun got set, the video got darker, and like I could change it, whereas he couldn't because it was older. So it looked impressive, but it didn't get the job done. And then when I showed him that, he goes, yeah, you were worth every penny.
Nice.
So I was like, I told you, I know what I'm doing. So I often have to like remind people, listen, you know, I try to keep up with the trends of technology, and I'll do my best to have the latest and greatest. So right now I have a great camera, and it's still, you know, considered to be the best for prosumer video cameras. But if you guys want to donate and, you know, make a little deposit on the video, you can do that. We're at that level. If you guys do that, it'll help us get even better cameras. Yeah.
Yeah.
Those options are available to you. Yes, you can donate to the channel. It's amazing. And you become a subscriber if you become a subscriber. Now, that doesn't mean, like, share, and subscribe. We have like another tier, a membership. If you become a member of To Be Seen, you'll get a perk. We'll get you a t-shirt, something cool. Maybe even a friendly hello from us. But always be sure to like, share, and subscribe. Ring that bell so you're alerted to when our episodes drop. All right, so we're going back to jolly old Christmas here, and we got my family coming in, hanging out.
I was happy to see some Mike's background with his family.
Yeah, we don't really get too many Mike-centric episodes. I kind of felt like this was one of them. So I thought that was cool. And I thought it was really neat that his parents were like soul to the earth, wanting to help. But he was so stubborn and really wanted so hard to do everything on his own because he wanted to, like, I don't want to say impress his parents, but kind of like
see what I did, be proud of me kind of thing.
Yeah. So I always thought that was very interesting. And I get it, the whole, well, let's get into the thick of it. Let's do this proper.
All right.
Yes. So, long story short, the moral of this episode was like, your parents want to jump in because they don't know how much time they have. And when your faculties get going, like I had to deal with this early in life. My mother, who's a subscriber, can tell you, unfortunately, my mother had MS undiagnosed for so long that in 2010, she started to lose her ability to walk. And I had to take over the reins like completely by myself. And then luckily my aunt moved in to help out, but we ended up moving anyway. In 2017, albatross, but it's part of life. Your parents,
I'm going through it now.
Yeah, your parents are to guide you to a certain point, and then you take the reins. It's like passing the baton. You only go so far, and your parents go, all right, it's your turn, you take over.
Yeah, I have to go over my mom's every day. She had some wounds on her legs because of neuropathy. So I have to go there and clean them and dress them every day until they heal a little bit better.
Wow,
she'll be 82 this year, and
wow,
I can see the slippage if
yeah. My mom's 67, and it's tough because she was in there 10 years ago, 56. So it was, 10 years, a little bit, well, 11 years. And it was tough because she, we love going to the movies, especially to go see Star Trek movies. And I remember the last Star Trek movie we saw was Insurrection, and she couldn't even walk, across. No, not Insurrection, Into Darkness. It was like 2012 or something like that. And I had to put her in a wheelchair. She couldn't even walk anymore. So she ended up going into a nursing home in her 50s. So, yeah, it was tough. It's tough times. But but that's why Mike always had these issues with his dad. So like, Allison was like, well, we need a bigger Christmas tree because she bought one of those little like Charlie Brown tiny Christmas trees. And Fanny was just pushing Allison to get a bigger one. But what did you think of the Twister game?
Hilarious.
Yeah. I mean, seeing ghosts, like the base of the Twister is just there and nobody could see them playing it. So it's hilarious to just see it there. I thought that was kind of clever.
Yeah. Have you ever played it?
Years ago. Now forget it. Nobody would play Twister with me. I'm
my age.
Like, oh, yeah. And then my knees creak. So like, I'll be, all right, blue, left leg on blue, and I'll be like,
there's positions can't get in again.
No, not anymore. I'll play chess though. I'll play duck. But did you notice this is the least we got out of Robin this episode too?
Oh, yeah. Would he know anything about Christmas?
No, it didn't exist.
Yeah, but he's had to witness it over the years.
Yeah, exactly.
With the Button household and before.
Yeah. So interesting.
Yeah, I miss him when he's only in it a little bit because I think he's hilarious.
Yeah. And I love Thomas was like trying to get Allison under the mistletoe and kiss her. It's like, dude, chill.
Yeah.
And then he ends up kissing Mike's mom by mistake. I mean, she doesn't realize it, but I thought it was hilarious.
I'm growing to like him a little bit more because I don't know, maybe he's just growing on me more than he was at the beginning. Thomas.
Yeah.
So I think I've watched it all the way through once and he didn't really resonate with me, but he's on my second watch. I'm seeing him a little bit in a different light now. So
I love when he goes, damn your eyes. He's like, gets all angry. I actually enjoyed all of these characters. There was like, I didn't I mean, when you're a fan of the U.S. and you go backwards, I spoke to somebody in our good buddies, the Ghosts, were sucked off worldwide, who was doing trying to get people from Britain to talk about the American show.
Oh,
And I was like, well, how
they're
would you
not
like?
very kind to us about the show. I've
No,
so many
I don't
British
think so.
comments where
Yeah.
we can. I hate to say this, us against them kind of thing, but in at least my experience is when we watch their show, we are not as angry about, if that makes sense.
Mhm.
We don't criticize it as badly as they criticize our version. I think at
Yeah.
least that's been my experience.
Yeah. True. Very true.
Because it was the first one, and I guess they feel territorial. I
Right.
get it.
Yeah.
Great character in this episode.
Yeah, but it was very cool. I thought that there was a lot of things going on at once, like Julian dealing with his lack of a fatherhood. Huh?
That was big.
Yeah. Julian, like, seeing his past and the fact that Mary goes, the babies can see us until they walk, sees, like her getting into that mythos. I thought that was a neat little added delight for the TV show.
Do you think Julian was the B story or the A story?
He was involved in the A story.
Okay.
Because the A story is Mike and his parents.
Right.
And Mike and his family, and because he was dealing with Mike's niece and trying to calm her down and kind of like being the father that he never was to his own daughter.
Yeah.
I feel like he was filling in those gaps.
So not really a B story because they just merged into kind of one.
Yeah, they kind of all merged in.
Yeah.
The B story was the Twister and the captain trying to, I think, trying to listen to the Queen's speech, and he was sorely disappointed by the Queen's speech, which I thought it was hilarious.
Yeah.
The the fighting match between Thomas and the captain, I thought was also very funny too.
Yeah.
And then
Thomas likes to get into those scrapes.
Yeah, he's tough, but not really,
Yeah.
But it did end on a very sweet note. They all played, around Allison played the piano, and they all the ghosts got around her, and they kind of like took part. That's where we see Robin.
Yeah, was nice.
Yeah,
sweet.
And she's playing a song called, and I had to look it up, so I don't know. It's called "In the Bleak Midwinter," and then so she's playing it, and the ghosts are like wrapping around her. But then Mike and his family all like appreciate it, and it turns out they love Carol, so she was right in the whole thing. And Allison gives Thomas a small kiss, but he didn't even notice, which I thought was hilarious. He was like, the thing he wanted so bad, and then she like gave him a little, and then he didn't even.
That's. That would have driven me insane, because in the last episode about last night, when the thing she said about being family threw me into tizzy,
Yeah, exactly.
Or especially when she drunk and said that she would date him if she was alive at the same time.
Right.
So that kiss would have sent him into orbit.
Yeah. So poor Thomas.
I know.
Yeah. So I mean, as a Christmas episode, like when you watch shows and they always have like a Christmas episode, like Doctor Who was famous for it. Even Star Trek did like they did a Thanksgiving one.
Yeah, but they kind of stayed away from holidays.
Yeah. I mean, they all don't matter at this point in time.
Yeah.
But as a Christmas episode, what did you think?
I really liked it because it gave us, like I said before in the opening, more of a background on Mike, because he hasn't been a fully drawn character yet. And I think this really added some shade to him, so we could see his insecurities about his dad, his parents, wanting to impress them.
Yeah.
And sometimes that is a big chore, or there's things you don't know is happening, and he learned about that,
Gotcha. Yeah. That makes sense. And what did you think about the people that played the parents, Mike's parents? I thought they were well cast.
Yeah. Our show and their show seem to really do well with the casting choices, and I don't see any actors that don't fit the character, in my opinion. I think they do really well.
Yeah. The father, Errol, he's played by Leon Herbert, and you got Samantha is Sutra Gale, it's Betty Cooper, and Angela Cooper is played by Samantha Pearl. And Tamika Ramsway plays Leela Cooper, so that's pretty interesting. They're all like faceless actors and actresses at this point on IMDb. But
Yeah.
my favorite is Jim Howick, who plays Pat. He actually has this massive beard. He reminds me of. Did you ever watch that show with Tim the Two Man Taylor, Home Improvement? I think it was called.
Yeah.
He looks like the
neighbor.
Al.
Yeah.
No, Al, the bearded, the guy. Like so, Tim the Two Man,
his co-guy.
his co-host. Yeah.
Yeah.
He could never do any of the stuff that he was supposed to do, but Al could always do it. That's what Pat looks like to me. His name is Jim.
Well, did you see, I don't know if I sent you a link where there on YouTube, there's some videos of the cast, just like at a Comic-Con or something, or some kind of interview panel. And it was kind of nice to see them out of their makeup and how they really are. And he had a beard like that. And Fanny looked 100% different in real life than she did on the show because of the wig and the makeup and the way she doubles her chin. And anyone watching, find those panels, and you will love them if you're a fan of Ghost UK.
Yeah, for sure.
Highly recommend them.
Yeah, it's a lot of fun.
Yeah,
a lot of fun. Yeah, I think we're gonna wrap it up. So, I mean, very cute, nice way to end everything. You got the whole family togetherness, and might kind of.
I like Christmas episodes.
Oh, so you like Christmas episodes? Some of them are okay. Some of them I'm like, but overall, it was a pretty good one. What do you call it? Julian decided to find out what happened to his daughter since his death. And this is where we find out that his daughter's name was Rachel Fawcett. And she's also trying to become an MP for the Green Party. So I found that interesting where they kind of got that backlog. So kind of like Pete, when you find out what happened with his daughter and she had her own son named Pete.
Yeah, that oh my gosh. The first time I saw Pete's wife's episode.
Yeah.
It was so moving. I mean,
and it was very like similar to when you met Pat's wife. Yeah, it was like almost the same beat for beat.
Yeah.
The way they did it in the American version, I thought was a little bit more touching. It's also the music notes, because like the way they do the music in the US one, I don't know what it is, but it just kind of like does that, gives you that like little oomph. Music does a lot, man.
It can make or break some projects.
Yeah. Like I can't stand the Snyder movies, even some of the Nolan ones, because of the way Hans Zimmer does his scores. But if I watch 89 Batman, I'm like, yeah, it's Batman. You know what I mean? I'm like all about it. It's totally.
They did it right.
Yeah. So
I think the British people may not be as sentimental, as the Americans are.
Yeah.
And so maybe that's what I see in some of their television that I watch. It's not quite as sentimental, and it's more realistic, if that makes sense. And
it's surreal, like more about how life's ups and downs get you. It's unlike ours, which are kind of like America likes to give you that rosy look that, hey, everything's going to be okay. But in reality, things aren't okay. Like
the 50s, that was a different version of the 50s that didn't exist,
right? Because there was a lot of like spousal abuse problems in the 50s, and people stayed together and just dealt with so much craziness because of it. I find it very interesting to like experience all of that. So it's a different world, unfortunately. And the reality,
not ghosts.
But this show kind of gives us a little bit of an escape. And I asked the Ghost crew in the our Facebook group, which I am not only a member, but I'm also an admin now. So yay.
Moving up in the ranks.
Moving up. So I'm trying to get to it right now. But I asked people a question and got a lot of response, which I thought was amazing. And I asked them, I'm going to try to get a screenshot of it. Doug Drexler's in the hospital. Hope he's okay. If you don't know, that's the behind the scenes guy on Star Trek. I like how I'm the group expert in video game podcast, but no, I'm not. This got a lot of really cool responses, and I'm going to share a ghost story with everybody. So get ready. I'm going to bring up these photos that I just retook from the group. This is riveting entertainment right here, ladies and gentlemen.
On the edge of the seat.
Edge of their seat. They're like, unsubscribe. No,
no, don't put that out in the universe. No.
Yeah,
Subscribe.
Bring your friends. Bring your friends. Okay. The Sucked Off Worldwide. This is the question I asked. I said, generally curious, how many of us actually believe in ghosts? Not just the show, but the spirits. And the response was huge. It's 330 people responded. Dora said she did. And Vicky Downey also said she did, as well as Stacey Webster. There was also a lot of no's. Sylvia Norman said she did. And Matthew tickled me because he said, I believe in Thorfinn. But Talisha Gray Riley said, I do. I've seen my dad's ghost. My daughter had an attachment when she was very young that my older niece could see. And my husband's family has multiple ghost stories that will give you chills. So yeah, I'm a believer. And then Jennifer Martin says, we had and often heard children playing in our 1880 farmhouse, along with the phonographic music, until we installed new hardwood floors and covered up the memory. Our house was built by a midwife, and many children were born there, including 13 of her own.
Man.
Wow. I thought that was just incredible.
Yeah.
Thank you guys for sharing those. If you have a ghost story, add them below, and I will now share my ghost story.
Okay. I got one too.
Oh, you got one too? Great. We're going to have a double there. So my neighbor has this old house. So our houses were built, like, I think simultaneously. The neighborhood belonged to an old farm, and the farmers passed away and were buried in the neighborhood, and they were buried behind the house. There's like this greenery that it's a woods that the houses all go up all the way to the woods, and there's this rock, and they basically fence off the rock. But as it would turn out on the other side of the rock, it's etched, here lies, and then the name, and then live, died. So it was like 1612 to 1652 or something like that. Didn't live very long. But you get a lot of weird stuff in my old neighborhood, but this one is very interesting. So my buddy still lives in the house. If you go to the third floor, and only if you carry a plate of food, with two hands, even if you carry a book with two hands like up, you'll see a face peering over. You see this man like peering over at you, because the gentleman who lived on the top floor was the older gentleman. Back then they didn't have nursing homes, so the house was built in 1906.
You throw him over the cliff like Thorfinn.
Good luck, Grandpa. I'll leave him in the woods for the bears. But that's the new GOP Medicare.
Yeah, no kidding.
Got a great plan. We're gonna put all the elderly people in the woods. No more Medicaid, so I can have another jet.
That's funny you say jet, because I just watched quickly a documentary last night about one of the televangelists.
Oh, God.
He's so evil, and he was talking about he had 3 planes, and
is that Jesse?
No, this is the old guy, not Jesse.
He's white hair.
No, this is black hair back. He's like one of the first.
Oh wow, the one that just died because he had like a sex scandal before.
I don't think he's still alive. But anyhow, he was saying how God had his people buy him a 3rd plane, and
yeah, that's what this guy. I forget it. He basically said, "We're believing God for a better jet, and they're going to buy it from Tyler Perry." And ironically, his parishioners went and did the thing and gave him the money for the jet. So
yeah,
what a shame! What a shame. Poor people. If you want to, we don't need a jet.
No,
we would like some money. So if you want to donate, I believe in y'all for some money. But yeah, I mean, I just remember being a kid and going over to their house, and it was my best friend. She, we'll call her Shibi. That's not her real name. I just want to keep it safe. But Shibi, I was there till like 3 a.m. and they're like, "All right, Joe." It was a girl sleepover. And I'm playing with everybody. Like, "All right, Joe, time to go home." And I remember looking up at the 3rd floor, and I remember seeing like you had like a nightlight that shadowed the banister. And I remember seeing like a shadow like start to come down the steps, and then going, Joe, it's time to go home. And I looked again, and the shadow was gone. So,
Oh wow.
yeah, it's a real deal. And I remember my buddy telling me about the face. If you bring a plate of
Mhm.
food up, you'll see the face like looming over, because the older gentlemen back then, they didn't have the big nursing homes like they do now. So they just left him on the 3rd floor, like out of sight, out of mind. And they would bring him food, and he wasn't too happy about it.
Yeah, it's horrible existence.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Yeah. But yeah, go ahead. What are yours?
Well, mine's concerning me and my dad. He died in 1991, and
Wow.
over the years, I have smelt his cologne in my house, and I don't wear cologne, and I don't.
Are you
have
in the
any-
house that you guys
Yes.
had? Oh,
No,
wow.
no. This is every house I've ever lived in. I
Mm.
have had that, and it's Old Spice. I've never knew anyone Old Spice, and he's come when I've been ill, and I meditate, and I believe everything is energy.
Yeah.
And when I meditate and I try to, talk to my dad, sometimes will feel his energy come into mine, and it's like electrics going through me,
Wow.
and feeling peace kind of thing and happiness, that kind of feeling when I
Mm.
meditate, because it's the cologne thing is definitely him.
Wow.
And my mom says she's seen him at night when she hasn't felt well.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, even though her second husband, he just passed away 2 years ago, I think, almost.
Wow.
Yeah.
So everybody's got a ghost story. Share your ghost story with us. We'll talk.
I would
about
love to hear
next
it.
week.
Love to see it.
Yeah, comment below. I'm going to put a little banner there. Yeah, comment your ghost story below, and we'll feature it next week.
Yes.
So we would
I'd love
love
to
to talk
see it.
about it.
Yeah, I like reading those and seeing some of the psychics and just seeing what happens.
Yeah.
Like, did you watch Ghost Hunters it went on for ages?
Yeah,
on
for
Sci-Fi
ages. Yeah.
Channel.
Dude, run. Yeah, I remember
I
that.
never
My
saw
mom
anything ever.
They had
know?
the one where they went to the Arkansas mental institution. That was also like a Civil War, Civil War hospital.
Mhm.
And then it was really creepy because like they would throw because it was also during a plague, I think the Spanish flu or something like that. And they would throw the bodies down the chute, and then they like set a camera down the chute, and like they were panning, and they had those like heat cameras, and then you saw this like outline of a Civil War soldier. I couldn't tell which side, but you saw the outline of them, and then like it was the blue, so it was like cold, and they say like ghosts put off a cold temperature.
Yeah.
So I thought it was interesting.
I hated when they would, oh my gosh, and go to a commercial, and they come back.
Yeah,
almost every time.
Yeah, that was like their main thing. Yeah. All right, well, that's going to wrap this episode up. Please share your ghost comments and stories below, and we will definitely read them on the next episode.
Yes.
Love hearing about that stuff. It's kind of cool. It's a very misty shadows that come across our screen here on To Be Seen in the This Dungeon podcast realm. So, that's going to be it. B Money, would you take us out?
Hey, I hope everyone has a hauntingly good day and weekend.